Hello again from a slightly drizzly Shanklin Beach. Nice of you to join me. Great to see you as always. Now, expertise in my last video, I touched on the subject. I thought I'd share with you another story from the archives, shall we say. Now, I've been hugely impressed over the last 14 years when an advisor, chairperson, a non-exec director, somebody in the room or in the meeting or on the call says something that grabs everyone's attention and is the right thing to do. So many great examples, but one I wanted to share was when I worked for 3 Mobile back in 2002, we were applying for a 3G license in Ireland. Now, there was 4 3G licenses up for grabs. I say up for grabs. One was cheaper, but you had to roll out a lot more network, a bit quicker. And the other 3 were more expensive with slightly less or stringent rollout conditions. Now, the around £25 million difference between the two, purely on the license fee. Now, the cheaper license, let's call it the A license, was really designed for one of the 2 major incumbent operators, either Vodafone or O2, who were the top 2 in the market at the time, to roll out a bit more 3G quicker. And as a new entrant, I was with 3, we hadn't launched yet in the UK, and we were considering just expanding the business into Ireland. Now, one of the things that came up in this whole process was, what do you apply for? Your whole competition was designed as a beauty parade, was to apply for both A and B license and indicate your preference for which one. Probably set up that everyone would apply for the A and B license, and whether you were Vodafone, O2 or any new entrant into the market, you would probably give a preference to the A license. Now, we'd ummed and ahed about what we were going to do. We had one presentation, included the CEO of the UK business who joined the meeting, as to what we do. Now, one option was not to apply at all, which would have been a bit deflating. But it was on the table, and we went through all the different options. The CEO basically just piped up and said, should we just apply for the A license? And we thought, well, what about the B license? Well, there's no obligation to apply for the B license. Why don't we just do the A? And there was a silence, a lot of thinking going on, and nods of agreement to say, well, if the regulator wants a new player to come into the market, they're going to have to give us the A license. So long story short, we applied for the A license only. Now, when we submitted our license bid, all the documentation we had in one box. You had to bring it over to Dublin, and we submitted it. Probably had a floppy disk as well, I can't quite remember. But we had all the documentation in one box, brought up to the regulator's office, and they welcomed us and said good morning, and asked us, was this the only box? And we said, yes, we'd like to submit an application for the A license. And they said, are you submitting an application for the B license? It was like, no, just the A license. Totally had destroyed the competition, because now if they wanted a new entrant to come into the market, they had to give 3 the A license. So it kind of screwed up the game, but it just shows you the contribution. I mean, long story short there is 3 has launched in Ireland, grown. Amazing to see how the business has grown, and now has since acquired O2 and is the largest operator in the UK. So, I mean, it's gone on to do amazing things. Granted, I was only right back at the very beginning of that journey. It's also amazing to see how one CEO can join a meeting in such a busy schedule, and you feel you've got a slight imposter syndrome, pulling in such big wigs into the meeting who can make one comment, maybe 2 comments, that's a game changer. It goes to show that even at the early stage of any business, just bringing in or finding a way to tap into that level of advice from somebody who can change, I say change destiny, but just change the direction, change the fortunes that you're trying to seek, whether it's on the market side, the product side, the tech, the governance, whatever it may be. Fascinating stuff. Thanks for listening. Keep well. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers for now.